The Law of One, Book 2, Part 2. Questioner: I understand that the first distortion of intelligent infinity is the distortion of what we call free will. Can you give me a definition of this distortion? Ra: I am Ra. In this distortion of the Law of One, it is recognized that the Creator will know itself. Questioner: Then am I correct in assuming that the Creator then grants for this knowing the concept of total freedom of choice in the ways of knowing? Am I correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is quite correct. Questioner: This then being the first distortion of the Law of One, which I am assuming is the law of intelligent infinity, all other distortions which are the total experience of the creation spring from this. Is this correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is both correct and incorrect. In your illusion, all experience springs from the law of free will or the way of confusion. In another sense, which we are learning, the experiences are this distortion. Questioner: I will have to think about that and ask questions on it in the next session. So I will go on now to what you have given me as a second distortion, which is the distortion of love. Is this correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner: I would like for you to define love in its sense as the second distortion. Ra: I am Ra. This must be defined against the background of intelligent infinity or unity or the one creator with the primal distortion of free will. The term love then may be seen as the focus, the choice of attack, the type of energy of an extremely, shall we say, high order which causes intelligent energy to be formed from the potential of intelligent infinity in just such and such a way. This then may be seen to be an object rather than an activity by some of your peoples, and the principle of this extremely strong energy focus being worshipped as the creator instead of unity or oneness from which all loves emanate. Questioner: Is there a manifestation of love that we could call vibration? Ra: I am Ra. Again, we reach semantic difficulties. The vibration or density of love or understanding is not a term used in the same sense as the second distortion, love. The distortion love being the great activator and primal co-creator of various creations using intelligent infinity. The vibration love being that density in which those who have learned to do an activity called loving without significant distortion then seek the ways of light or wisdom. Thus, in vibratory sense, love comes into light in the sense of the activity of unity in its free will. Love uses light and has the power to direct light in its distortions. Thus, vibratory complexes recapitulate in reverse the creation in its unity, thus showing the rhythm or flow of the great heartbeat, if you will use this analogy. Questioner: I will make a statement that I have extracted from the physics of Dewey Larson, which may or may not be close to what we are trying to explain. Larson says that all is motion, which we can take as vibration, and that vibration is pure vibration and is not physical in any way or in any form or density. And the first product of that vibration is what we call the photon or particle of light. I'm trying to make an analogy between this physical solution and the concept of love and light. Is this close to the concept of love creating light? Ra: I am Ra. You are correct. Questioner: Then I will expand a bit more on this concept. We have the infinite vibration of love, which can occur, I'm assuming, at varying frequencies. I would assume that it begins at one basic frequency. Does this have any meaning? Ra: I am Ra. Each love, as you term the prime movers, comes from one frequency, if you wish to use this term. This frequency is unity. We would perhaps liken it rather to a strength than a frequency, this strength being infinite, the finite qualities being chosen by the particular nature of this primal movement. Questioner: then this vibration, which is, for lack of better understanding, pure motion, it is pure love. It is nothing that is yet condensed, shall we say, to form any type of density of illusion. This love then creates by this process of vibration, a photon, as we call it, which is the basic particle of light. This photon then, by added vibrations and rotation, further condenses into particles of the densities we experience. Is this correct? Ra: I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner: then this light which forms the densities has what we call color. This color is divided into 7 categories. Can you tell me if there is a reason or explanation for these categories of color? Ra: I am Ra. This will be the last complete question of this session, as this instrument is low on vital energy. We will answer briefly, and then you may question further in subsequent sessions. The nature of the vibratory patterns of your universe is dependent upon the configurations placed upon the original material or light by the focus or love using its intelligent energy to create a certain pattern of illusions or densities in order to satisfy its own intelligent estimate of a method of knowing itself. Thus, the colors, as you call them, are as straight or narrow or necessary as is possible to express, given the will of love. There is further information which we shall be happy to share by answering your questions. However, we do not wish to deplete this instrument. Is there a short query necessary before we leave? Questioner: the only thing I need to know is if there is anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or to help her or this contact. Ra: I am Ra. This instrument is slightly uncomfortable. Perhaps a simpler configuration of the body would be appropriate given the instrument's improving physical complex condition. I am Ra. You are conscientious in your endeavors. We shall be with you. We leave you now in the love and in the light of the one infinite Creator. Rejoice, therefore, in the power and the peace of the one infinite Creator, Adonai.